Hello dear friends. In this session we are going to discuss about services. Dear friends, first important thing is we need to understand that there are different sectors of economy. Well, there is a primary sector, there is a secondary sector, and there is tertiary sector, that is also known as services sector. Dear friends, traditionally Indian society is an agrarian society. It is reflected by the fact that we have about 50% of our workforce employed in agriculture and allied activities like forestry and fishing. The primary sector is most affected by disguised unemployment, which is characterized by additional hands to do a job without additional returns in terms of productivity. The primary sector contributes to only about 17% of the GDP. Dear friends, secondary sector such as industries and processing employs about 22% of the workforce with around 26% contribution to the GDP. With globalization and technology led business growth, this sector has drifted from being a labor intensive sector to lesser reliance on manpower. Dear friends, tertiary sector is the biggest beneficiary of globalization and open trade. Indian services bring her more than 60% of GDP while employing less than 27% of the workforce. While this sector has witnessed highest relative growth in terms of GDP, it has not led to commensurate growth in employment, and that is the reason we call it as a jobless growth. Dear friends, now we'll understand what are services. Dear friends, services touch almost every part of our lives, and it is almost impossible to imagine life without them. Well, services are widely used by people today in practically all aspects of life. Services nowadays are increasingly being used by the corporate as well as household sector. Dear friends, now we will look into some of the prominent definitions of services. Well, the American Marketing Association in 1960, how it defined services. Services are activities, benefits, or satisfactions which are offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. Well, Ziethmal and Bittner and Rao, how they have defined services. Services are deeds, processes and performances. Dear friends, services are deeds, processing and performances means like we will give example of IBM and Infosys. They offer repair and maintenance services, consulting for IT and e-com applications, web design and hosting, and many other activities. Also for hospitals, for most part of their service is represented through meetings with clients, problem analysis activities, follow-up calls and reporting, etc. All these are a series of deeds, processes and performances. Well, a service is an act or performance offered by one party to another. Although the process may be tied to a physical product, the performance is transitory, often intangible nature. So in case of services are, they have a characteristic of intangibility, and services does not normally result in ownership like a physical product. Well, another important definition has been given by The Economist, that is an English language weekly magazine based in London. How it defines services: anything that cannot be dropped on your foot. Well, dear friends, we can see a service is an economic activity that creates value and provides benefits for customers at specific times and places by bringing about a desired change in or on the behalf of recipient of the service. Dear friends, this is how we can define services. Now, dear friends, what is service sector? Well, dear friends, service sector or tertiary sector is that portion of the economy that produces intangible goods. The service sector provides a service, not an actual product that could be held in your hand. Activities in the service sector include retail, banks, hotels, real estate, education, health, social work, computer services, recreation, media, communications, electricity, gas, water supply. They are some of the examples of service sector. Dear friends, we must also take note of that services could meet both personal needs as well as for the business purpose. Well, personal needs, we can give example of, like we go to the barbers for haircuts. There is, yeah, tuition services, massage services, parlors are there. So they are kind of personal needs, examples of the service. Well, in case of business needs, like we can take example of courier services, office cleaning services, delivering fresh flowers to the offices. They are some of the examples of the business needs. Dear friends, this is an interesting concept. Well, you can have a look at goods services continuum. A continuum is a set of things on a scale. Well, dear friends, the idea that products contain elements of both products are both goods and services in varying degrees. You can find it on this continuum. The goods and services continuum enables marketers to see the relative goods services composition of the total products. A product's position on the continuum in turn enables marketers to spot opportunities. Well, dear friends, you can find it from the continuum at the pure goods end of the continuum. Goods that have no related services are positioned at the pure services end, are services that are not associated with physical products. Products that are a combination of goods and services fall between the two ends. For example, goods such as furnaces, which require accompanying services such as delivery and installation, are situated towards the pure goods end. Products that involve the sale of both goods and services such as auto repair are near the center, and products that are primarily services but rely on physical equipment such as taxis are located towards the pure services end. Well, you can better understand this goods services continue. Dear friends, well, Theodore Levitt he was an American economist and professor at Harvard Business School. He was also editor of Harvard Business Review. Well, what he suggests, there are no such things as service industries. There are only industries whose service components are greater or less than those of other industries. That means simply everybody is in service, and everywhere you can find service, whether even if there are products, but still a service component will be attached to the product. So that is how Theodore Levitt suggests that there are only industries whose service component are greater or less than those of other industries. So that is, everybody is in service. Dear friends, sometimes when people think of service, they think only of customer service, which is not right. So here we can better understand the concept. Services can be divided into four distinct categories. Friends, service industries are companies, which means those companies, those industries classified within the service sector whose core product is a service, like Taj Palace Hotels for lodging, Indian Airlines for transportation, Birla Sun Life for insurance, Apollo Hospitals for healthcare. So we can see services as service industries, they are companies. Dear friends, now we will look into service as products. Services as products represent a wide range of intangible product offerings that customers value and pay for in the marketplace, like IT consulting services, gift wrapping, and shipping services are some of the examples. Well, customer service. Dear friends, customer service is the service provided in support of companies' core products. Companies typically do not charge for customer service, like customer service call centers. If something is wrong with our calling, so we easily call the call center. So that is kind of the kind of customer service for building customer relationships. So this is another way we can see the services. Now, the fourth one is derived service. Dear friends, derived service is yet another way to look at what service means. The value derived from physical goods are valued for services they provide. Two noteworthy researchers, Steve Wargo and Bob Lush, suggest that pharmaceutical offers medical services, razor provides barbering services, and computers provide information and data manipulation services. They suggest that value derived from physical goods is really the service provided by the good, not the good itself, and in future we may think even more broadly about services than we currently do. So dear friends, this is how we can look into four distinct categories of services.